And go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Today's subject.
Just because
It will be
some craziness.
This is going to be old news to some of you.
Yeah.
To I'm sure a lot of you. It's kind of brand new to us, but it's been on the periphery.
And it's like something that people are going to be like, who cares?
Yeah.
But it's these little incremental things that add up to the big.
Yeah, exactly.
Big,
to what's
like,
going on in the
weirdness.
world.
Changes.
This speaks to what's going on in the world, and we know that by now everybody is feeling something is going on, something
Some
beyond your
weird,
control,
something
that defies explanation. Some people are fearful, depressed, while others are like, hey, I've lived through some shit and I'm going to live through this.
And some people do great when the shit's going down. When, things are not good for everybody.
Some people think
great,
we're on the cusp of the shit hits the fan thing. But anyway, what specifically we want to talk about today is, and listen, before we get started, let's be clear. We're not experts in this arena, and we like it that way.
Yeah.
We're like you, some of you. We're just becoming aware of this, and as we awaken, we want to talk about it with you. We want to hear your feedback below. We want to hear your theories below about this, and we'll go into it right now. The Mandela effect.
Is happening.
What does that mean to you?
All the time right now.
Specifically, we'll frame this discussion, let's call it a pre-discussion, because I'm going to do some more research and we'll do another video. Yeah. But we're going to frame this around Sally Fields.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's not get caught up on the name, okay? It could be, I'm okay with Sally Field instead of Sally Fields.
I always thought it was Sally Fields, but it's just because when you're saying like Sally Fields movie or Sally,
plural,
it's a possessive.
Possessive.
And the way they print it in some places is Sally Field.
Sally Field's latest movie.
Yes.
Sally Field's
But they weren't saying that. They used an apostrophe where they shouldn't have in here somewhere. So let's
kind of just give some shape to this discussion. It's about the award acceptance speech. What was that? Oscars.
It was forever ago.
Called? It was 1985.
Oh, 85.
It was Oscars, and it was for not terms of something of the heart. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
If you look up Sally Field awards speech, you'll find this.
Well, and most of you probably remember it.
Okay.
Because it was everybody talked about it.
All right, so finish this quote. Finish this quote.
I thought it was cute.
You like me.
Blank, 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 blank.
Okay. And most of you who are in our age range said, you like me, you really like me. As so many people relentlessly mocked her.
Oh, I know. I felt bad for her. I was like, that's really cute. Like
embarrassing.
She's being innocent and vulnerable and just like a little kid being like, you like me, you really like me. But
well, they're saying now that if you remember that her saying that you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I understand it, as my brother once said, memory is a big liar.
That's true.
I understand all that. And I understand that things can be misassociated. A memory can be misassociated. Yeah. There are a lot of things that they call the Mandela effect that really aren't. The Mandela effect stems from the theory that, or the memory, the collective memory in some people's minds that Mandela died in the 80s when he did not. The reality that most of us know now is that he died after he got out of prison, long after he got out of prison. Anyway, well, the Mandela effect it's called
where
that
it's like a groupthink thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whether it's an erroneous memory or a changed memory for some reason.
It's kind of like what they're doing to history now. They're kind of changing,
and
erasing it and changing it.
See, it's concurrent with that. It's simultaneous with that. So what Jennifer and I are maintaining is no. She said, "You like me, you really like me." In fact,
we watched her.
We watched it. I remember it.
And we talked about it.
We were young
after.
adults.
Everybody
talked about it. You can see the famous Jim Carrey quote in Mask was one of the many, many, many quotes where he said, "You like me, you really or love me, you really love me."
Yeah.
So what she's said now in today's reality is, "You like me. Right now you like me." And that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
She practiced and prepared to say that.
And in another interview, she said that she prefaced it with, "At this moment in time, you like me. You really like me."
Yeah. You can find these interviews, and I'll dig them up.
I mean, it doesn't matter. What does it matter what she said? But the fact is that somebody is trying to change it. So that's why we're like, what?
Okay,
why is this a thing?
Here's where it gets really weird. Sally Field's brother, Sally Field's possessive brother, is a particle scientist.
Richard Field.
A high energy particle scientist. Particle scientist.
Yeah.
Richard Field at, I guess, the CERN Institute in CERN, Switzerland. And he's involved, he was one of the many scientists, a couple of hundred scientists, involved in discovering the God particle.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And these people are playing around with the manipulating timeline. Reality.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're the brother of a woman who's been maligned for decades,
if you could change that.
If only, sis, what would you like to change in history? I know exactly what I'd like to change. That'd be a fun experiment. I have to admit, if I could help a sibling out, and I was involved with 200 of the best scientists in the world.
And it's like not a big deal, just to see if you could do it.
Just to see if you could do it. But when you start screwing around with time and with people's timelines and different reality, they say we're all living in separate realities.
I kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you looked through somebody else's eyes and like had to live through their body,
you would see a different reality.
You would see completely different. I mean, you might even see different colors for colors, you know?
Yeah.
Like my purple right there could be your green. So.
But so this Richard Field, I get it. He was part of the discovery of the God particle. Oh, whatever that means. I'm not pretending to know exactly what that entails.
But he does lots of experiments trying to manipulate.
They're in an underground,
reality.
Basically an underground city in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Like on the border of Germany.
France.
France. Yeah.
Switzerland. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so here's another one for you. Now there are a bunch of ridiculous theories
So you say they're ridiculous until they come true.
But some really trivial Mandela effect examples that you're like, really, who cares about that? Like,
but still, if they're trying to change the little things, it's just an experiment. It's like COVID, trying to shut everybody down, see how far they can push us.
Finish this line from the mamas and the papas. I went for a walk on a winter's day. I stopped into a church. I passed along the way. I got down on my knees. Finish that line. I got down on my knees.
And I began
to pray. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, everybody, just like the Sally Field example, everybody quoted Sally Field as saying, "You like me, you really like me," and they're telling us now, no, here's the new video, here's the new reality.
But then everybody that did covers of that
said
the original, and I began to pray. If that was the original, we don't know. Maybe it was.
No, we could say I'm open. My mind is open. My mind is open to this conspiracy theory. They called it a far right wing conspiracy theory. They call it what's that? QAnon.
Oh.
Now when people say,
well, tell them what they're saying that they said.
we didn't say got that. I walked into a church. I passed along the way. I got down on my knees and I pretend to pray.
Yeah.
Pretend to pray. Now, I'll admit that they could have said that, and all the people that cover, if you look for covers of that song from that time period, all the covers, everybody says, and I began to pray, which kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could hear somebody saying, I pretend to pray.
Yeah.
But why would he say that?
Why would you even do that?
Because he's having a hard time, so he began to pray.
Yeah.
Why would you go into church and if you're feeling dark and dull and dreary and you're like, and I pretend to pray, well, that means you're not really wanting I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any. It's like you're not trying to help yourself.
But if you listen to it,
I don't know.
To play the devil's advocate, it could easily be misconstrued.
It could.
And I pretend.
And we listen to it, and it says, "I pretend to pray now," but
yeah. So very strange. But the Sally Field one, no.
Yeah.
Another one is look at the Mona Lisa painting.
Oh, that's been forever. People have been saying
that she's not smiling. Wait a minute, now she's smiling?
Yeah.
They're saying it's changed over time. I remember the Mona Lisa being dour. Yeah.
Part semi-smile.
Now she's like...
I kind of remember thinking, wait, she's smiling.
I've seen the Mona Lisa. Interesting trivia note, by the way. Before I was born, my mother was at Sally Field's home.
Really?
Yes, she was friends with her mother.
Oh, wow.
And she said, honey, I used to go over there for coffee because my father worked with Jock Mahoney, who was Sally Field's stepfather.
Oh.
I believe he was married to her mother for a while. And they lived in the valley, and Mom was over there, and she said, I used to see this little girl playing in the yard when I would visit whatever her name was. And that was Sally Field, and she became very successful, didn't she? Oh, hell yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
But
and she was very excited about it.
Yeah, and if my mom were alive, I would be like, is it Fields or Field?
And what did she say? Come on. But we were there too, so.
But we're going to talk more about this.
We just need more people to corroborate.
You know what I'll do? I think what I'll do is I'll try to find a link for you to put in the description below that directs you to interviews on David Letterman and one other show where Sally Fields quotes herself on the Oscars as saying, "You like me, you really like me." And in one of the interviews, she said, and what I said was, at this moment in time, you like me, you really like me.
I mean, what's the difference? Who cares?
It's because I don't want my reality augmented.
No, I'm just saying, it just doesn't, it's not like a big deal. Like, why would she care? So, who cares? So she said that.
Well, like you
know
said,
what I mean? Either way, saying
really
it is the same thing. Yeah, that's true.
But it is so
she was very young.
Damned interesting. And this one is a real kicker because of the brother being a high energy particle scientist. And the fact that most people who remember her saying what she said.
Yeah.
You like me, you really
She's been
like
quoted
me.
Over the years so many times.
Sort of screaming, gleeful, you like me, you really like me.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was so cute.
Oh no, I mean, just the way this whole thing makes me
feel.
It's crazy.
It's weird. It's very weird.
So.
Yep.
Anyway,
never thought I'd see these
please
days.
Share your reality with us in the comments below. You say whatever. If you think we're conspiracy nuts, we don't care. The more nowadays, Jennifer and I feel like our minds are open and not. Yeah, but we have not been captured.
But we're open to everything. We're open to
do you realize that?
And,
Think about it. They're the institutions and entities that capture minds. We feel like they haven't captured ours. Like I've been having all these surgeries, but all my life I've tried to eschew the medical industry because I realize the power that is there, and the power can be quite destructive,
quite corrupted too,
and quite corrupted. And so the pharmaceutical arm of that, we have
Oh, thank
been
you.
very careful. We try to take supplements. We try to eat whole foods as much as we can.
Yeah.
We
Stay
feel
away
we
from
haven't been
seed
captured.
oils and sugar.
We feel like we haven't been captured by religion or cults or things like that. That's not to say we have a problem. We don't have a problem with people. I used to.
No, we're always
have
live
a
and let
problem with
live.
religion.
If you're not hurting
But my
somebody.
her parents brought her into churches. My grandmother was a treasurer of the cathedral in New Orleans. We were Catholic, a very Catholic family on both sides. And I went to churches as a child, and I said, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
My grandmother took me before the Stations of the Cross, and here's Jesus getting his crowny thorn and bleeding, and here's him getting nailed. And I was like, this is sick. This is,
Yeah.
I don't want this
Barbaric.
martyrdom. I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
They spoke in Latin. And
Well,
I just
that's-
wasn't
yeah.
into it.
It's
So I just was not
it just
captured.
seems very cultish.
You guys, we've had people, you went to a forum or two?
Oh, yeah. The
You know,
forum.
like Scientology.
The forum, yeah.
It's like Scientology. And
When I was 19.
You were into it, but you weren't captured. You read
Yeah.
Dianetics.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't captured. You
Right.
know?
So I was like, well, I mean, it sounded plausible to me at first, but I was 19.
So what
or
else?
18
Medical,
or 17.
medical, religion. There are all these things. The shot. You know, we were saying we don't believe this. We don't trust this vaccine because it's brand new. It's not. They haven't done the 20. Look, anime is my life. I love inside jokes. They haven't done the research, so we just felt it wasn't right for us. We thought this is crazy. This is too rough.
Yeah, let's wait and see.
They have killed
Let's wait
so
and
many people with vaccines. I remember the
and we never got
thalidomide.
the flu vaccine, and I've
Never had a flu
spoken
vaccine.
with many people who are not getting their kids vaccinated now, and they have to fight to get them in school.
Well,
and,
they were like 12 when we
you
were.
have to fight.
When we were kids,
to
there
not
were
get
like
your kids
8
vaccinated.
vaccines. When our kids were kids, there were 12.
I think when we
now
were
there's
little,
40.
there were like 4 maybe, right?
And I got mumps anyway, and I got a lot of those childhood diseases. I got chicken pox when I was 35.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we just well, that's all we got to say about that.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, that's another one. That's another one.
Nice segue, huh?
That's another one. That's another Mandela effect. You just said it. Life what?
Is like a box of chocolates.
He said life was like a box of chocolates. Now that's the reality. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Everybody says is. But that's one I could say, oh yeah, I can understand how that got confused.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Huh.
So tell us your Mandela effect if you have one in your life, because I'm sure there are plenty, and I'm sure if I sat and thought about it, I would think of, all the time I think, wait, didn't Jackson Brown die like 15 years ago? He's alive?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah,
That's good news.
There's a whole bunch of people that
Patrick
are like,
Swayze.
hey, when did so-and-so die? And Siri's like, so-and-so is
Alive and well.
blah, blah, blah years
Well, I mean,
old.
I know Neil Young died right after the Joe Rogan No, never mind.
Wow.
Well, his career died. So that's what it was. Okay.
Impossible. You're going to get a bunch of haters from that.
Neil Young came crawling back to Spotify. Joni Mitchell came crawling back to Spotify, but that's another video, isn't it? It's so
Definitely.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And they're so spineless, and it's an embarrassment. But let me not be negative. Anyway, tell us if you have a Mandela effect in your own sphere, in your own life, or something that you would like to mention. But tell us what you remember Sally Fields said.
Yeah, what did she say, people?
And if you think we're crazy, tell us that too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they're going to.
All right.
It's okay, because we don't care.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to
Mwah.
like and subscribe. It helps the channel.
For sure.
Yeah, Farm Girl has lost a lot of subscribers. You were cruising to 1 million. I mean, they may be watching this on Exoman. Your subscriber account was cruising to 1 million, and they said, this channel is too sexy. It's demonetized. They said, you're being sexual.
And then they wouldn't serve it up, or
they stopped. They
yeah,
killed. You were
I
getting,
was getting no views.
some days you were getting 1,000 subscribers. Now you get like 5 a day.
I was getting 3,000.
You're losing hundreds of subscribers a month.
Yeah.
Methinks somebody's tinkering.
Tinker. It's okay.
Or it might be that you're getting old. Or older. And they don't like older. Who knows?
You think?
No.
I think that's my thing, though. That's my niche. Sweet.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Look at that. We dip our toes into the socio-political spectrum